Good morning. Hi, Nana. Good morning and happy Thursday. So I did actually finish this last night. Again, it didn't take terribly long, and so I actually ended up reading it like in between my video exporting and uploading and waiting for captions to load so I could edit those. And I think I'm giving it like a 4 out of 5 stars. It's probably closer to a 3.5. I did really like how it started and the humor and the writing of most of it. However, as we got near the end of this first book in here, I got a little bit confused, and part of that could be that I'm so used to the movie, and let me tell you, the movie, the middle, like big middle chunk of the movie, it has to be a different book in here because there was nothing related to that in the first book, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So the ending was also a little bit different because it didn't have some of the combined motives that the movie had. And so some of the ways that it went about was a little bit confusing. There was a little bit more like details from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy that I didn't feel needed to be in there, but again, maybe it's just because they cut it from the movie. I don't know. But I really did like the beginning, and as it went through, I did like it. I just don't think I liked it as much as I was really hoping to. I am wanting to read more in the series, and so I will definitely pick this back up again to read more because I'm very curious now to see how it was supposed to go, because this, from what I can tell, is like on one timeline and the middle stuff of the movie didn't happen. So that must be from a different timeline, right? I don't know. I'm like further in the future. I'm very curious about that. And also, because I don't think I mentioned it yesterday, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy actually fulfilled a few reading rush prompts for me. One was reading a book that starts with the, because it is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The other one is to read a book that inspired a movie you've already seen. As we have talked about, I have definitely seen the movie. And then it is also tentatively going towards as a book or a genre that I want to read more of, because even though I do love sci-fi, I don't feel like I read enough of it, and that's what this was. So now, I guess I don't need my phone for this. I haven't started it yet. I will be reading Bittersweet by Serena Bowen. This is an adult romance that I'm using for the challenge of reading completely outside of your house because I live in Arizona, and even though it's supposed to rain, like a 30% chance of rain later this week, it's still over 100 degrees basically every single day. I'm not going to be reading outside for that. And because of COVID, we don't really leave the house except for like a once a week grocery run. And I usually don't leave the house for that. So it's not like I can make up errands to go do or have places to go where I could either bring a book with me or listen to an audiobook or anything like that. So I have chosen Bittersweet because I believe it is set in the wilderness of Vermont, I'm pretty sure, and that's outside enough for me. So I'm going to be starting that today, obviously, sometime soon, and I will update you guys once I start. We got a package, and they should be books for Presley. So I had been seeing this as an ad on like Facebook and Instagram, but then I saw Ashley from Bookish Realm get it for her daughter, and so I had to get them. It's really heavy, heavier than I thought it was gonna be. So we have Don't Eat Me Chupacabra, and has the Spanish No me comas chupacabra. I want goats. Yo quiero cabras. Chomp chomp. How delicious. Que delicioso. Sorry, that sounded like Dora the Explorer. Okay. Hush Now Banshee, a not so quiet counting book. One little banshee looking for some fun. It sure seems quiet. Where is everyone? Sorry, the way that the drawings are is what got me. Monster ABCs. A is for alien from way out of town. B is for banshee who won't quiet down. This is cute. Get dressed, Sasquatch. And then Goodnight Krampus. This is so cute. Goodnight narwhals. Goodnight Yeti. Goodnight sleepy elves. This is cute. Presley, we got you books. It's supposed to be nap time, but do you want to come see your books? Look. No? Do you want ABCs? Some monsters seem spooky when seen at first glance, but who knows if they're scary if we don't give them a chance. I'm glad that they had Frankenstein's monster and not Frankenstein. These are smart people. G is for ghost who gave us a start. H is for hobgoblin who smells like a fart. Q is for... I need to learn how to pronounce that if we're going to read this book. Always easy to spot. R is for Reaper if you're ready or not. X is for...
星天? Oh, okay, 星天.
Yeah, I'm like, it's Chinese.
He's a legendary, like, almost like a hero kind of guy who fight the
thinks
heavens.
with his gut.
Yeah, because he was beheaded.
Yeah, right.
And then but then he kept fighting. So yeah.
So how do you say it?
刑天.
刑天. 刑天, who thinks with his gut. Y is for Yeti, who's quite hard to find. Z is for zombie with your brain on his mind.
Yeah.
Now you can see monsters aren't really so bad. It's hard to be scared when you're laughing like mad. These are cute. So it's currently like 2:15. Presley is sleeping. I have read 2 pages, but we are going to, and I say we, mostly me, maybe Leon, we're gonna tie-dye shirts. I have quite a few. Most of them are for me. I just really like the tie-dye look, and we did some of these before I had Presley, and I just really liked how they turned out. This is the only tie-dye kit they had at the store the other week when I actually bought this, but it actually works perfectly. We have like pink, purple, black, blue, and teal. And I'm probably just gonna do like a spiral for all of them because that's like the only tie-dye I really know how to do. But this is what we're doing today, and I'm very, very excited. finished cleaning up. Here is the pile of everything. We did this during Presley's nap, and he woke up just at the end of it, so I'm actually very happy about that. But now these things have to sit for between 6 to 8 hours, and it's about 3:30. So what that means is we're not going to be able to rinse these out and start the laundry until like almost 10 o'clock tonight, which ultimately means you guys won't get to see what these look like until tomorrow, because in order to do daily vlogs like I've been doing, I have to edit and get everything started on these by around like 8 or so. So we won't be able to see these ones, but I'm very excited for them. Now, I have not read more than those like 2 pages I told you about earlier. I have no idea what's even going on in the book because I can't even remember what those 2 pages were about, which means I'm gonna have to start over reading. But like I said, it's 3:30. I'm not in charge of dinner tonight, and so I'm gonna try and get some reading done while Presley plays with his toys. Yeah. Okay, so I am now in the office because I need to do some editing for today. I have not done that yet, and I'm getting a little bit behind. And part of that is because I just read up to page 107. We're about 30% of the way into Bittersweet. They actually have page numbers on this Kindle book. Doesn't always happen. And I am really liking it so far. Like, I'm very taken in by the writing style and the plot. Basically, our main character of Audrey is working for some sort of corporation that does restaurants or something. She went through culinary school and wants to own her own restaurant in the future, and she has been tasked with going to like organic farms and trying to get produce and other foods at a very, very cheap price. And while she's doing that, she ends up meeting Griffin, who owns an organic farm for apples and dairy, but I think she's mostly there for apples. And she and him used to hook up in college. I think they said that they were only like a one-night stand sort of thing, but they did it twice. And so I feel like this is almost like a second chance romance sort of story. And like I said before, I'm really, really enjoying it. There are little bits and pieces that I feel like I'm a little bit nitpicky with, but it's my issue. I'm sure a lot of people enjoy it. One is that because they were one-night stand sort of things, hookups, I think is what they considered it as well, in college, they basically only consider each other as very, very pretty, beautiful people. So we have both point of views for them, and I actually don't mind either one, but Griffin more often than not talks about her and her body and how he wants to have sex with her, like a little bit more than I, as a demisexual, would prefer. I think, I don't know how to describe this sometimes, but I definitely need to have a connection to characters in romances in order to feel super comfortable with sex scenes in books. And guys' point of views in romance don't always work for me when the authors, and it's usually with female authors, when the authors try to make it seem like all they want is sex. Like, I've read some books, and actually one that comes to mind even recently was Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall. I read it last month, and it was a male-male romance written by a man, and there was no extra like all I want is sex. It was very focused on like relationship and friendship stuff first. They did, you know, eventually get to sex, but it wasn't like super explicit, and I just really, really enjoyed that. So the fact that a woman writing a man's point of view is, you know, his main thing about Audrey is he wants to fuck her. And so that's a me problem more than anything else. And so as we get to that, I have just finished a chapter 8, which basically ended with them having sex. And again, I don't fully mind sex scenes and romances. I know some of the stuff that I don't like is me, not necessarily what was written here. However, it felt very out of left field because even though Audrey has considered him to be very handsome and, you know, has looked back on what their past hookup was a little bit, it just seemed a little bit quick for them to have been having sex. Like, it almost felt like the author needed to hit, like, I hit 100 pages, let's have sex. And then the dirty talk was horrible. But besides that, I am enjoying the book. I'm enjoying the writing style. I'm enjoying the characters. I think this is a very quick book to read, and I'm going to definitely be reading more later tonight once dinner and vlog stuff is done. So I probably won't have a final update until tomorrow. But that last chapter I read, or that last, basically the last sort of scene I read, is just didn't really do it for me, because I'm wishing there was more romance in this. Right now it's all been very focused on lust and sex, and we're a little less than a third of the way through the book. We're at 30%, and so there's definite room for growth, and I'm really enjoying the way it's written and the characters, but like that part just sort of squicked me out a little bit. And then I realized I never really signed off on this vlog. I haven't read anything else because we had dinner, put the baby to bed, but I'm planning on reading more once I'm done with this, so I will see you guys tomorrow.